analysis of coal-fired power plant that is working on Otto cycle. The objective of our lab is to determine the thermal efficiency of coal-fired power plant, and then we will plot the pressure volume diagram of Otto cycle in MATLAB. First, coming towards what is Otto cycle. An Otto cycle is an idealized thermodynamic cycle that describes the functioning of a typical spark ignition piston engine, and it is a thermodynamic cycle most commonly found in automobile engines. It describes how heat engine turn gasoline into motion. Like other thermodynamic cycle, this cycle turns chemical energy into thermal energy and then into motion. Students, you can see here the pressure volume diagram of the Otto cycle. The PV diagram of the ideal Otto cycle describes the change in pressure and volume of a working fluid, that is a gasoline and air fuel mixture, change due to the combustion of hydrocarbon which powers the movement of a piston and then creating the heat to provide motion. Student, you can see here from the figure that from point 0 to 1, that is the state 0 to 1, the intake, this is the intake phase, and then from state 1 to 2 the compression takes place, and then from state 2 to 3 combustion occur due to the ignition of the fuel, and then from state 3 to 4 this is the power stroke, that is the thermal energy is turned into the motion, and then from state 4 to 1 waste heat is expelled out. So you can see here in the figure, we will discuss each process one by one. First, coming towards the process 0 to 1. The process 0 to 1 referred as the intake phase, because here the first piston is drawn down to the bottom, and which allows the volume into the chamber to increase so that it can intake the fuel and air mixture. And then in terms of the thermodynamics, we call this process as an isobaric process. We have already discussed the isobaric process. Students, you know that isobaric process is a thermodynamic process that take place at the constant pressure. So here pressure remains constant. You can see here that pressure is constant throughout the state. Therefore, this process is known as the isobaric process. Now coming towards the process 1 to 2, you can see here that process 1 to 2 here is the compression phase. During this phase, the piston will be drawn up so that it can compress the fuel air mixture that enters the chamber, and the compression causes the mixture of the to increase slightly in pressure and temperature. So here you can see that the pressure will increase here and the volume will decrease. However, in this case the no heat is exchanged, and in terms of the thermodynamics, this process is referred as an adiabatic process. And when the cycle reaches the point, then you can see that the fuel is met by the spark plug to ignite. So you can see from the process 2 to 3 that the combustion start occur due to the ignition of the fuel by the spark plug, and then the combustion of the gases is complete at here at the point 3, which result in highly pressurized chamber. You can see that pressure is increased at high pressure is maintained here in the chamber, and it has a lot of heat. And in terms of the thermodynamics, it is known as isochoric process. Isochoric process is a process in which the volume remains constant. You can see here that pressure is increasing, but volume remains constant throughout the process 2 to 3. Therefore, it is known as the isochoric process. And now coming towards the process 3 to 4, you have already seen that a lot of heat is produced in the process 2 to 3. Now this thermal energy in the chamber is a result of due to the combustion of heat. It is used to work on the piston, and it will pushes the piston down, and you can see that the volume will increase because the piston is moved down. So this is known as also known as power stroke, and this is known as the power stroke because when the thermal energy is turned into the motion, it is used to power the machine, any machine connected, that is it is used to turn the turbine, or in case of automobiles it is used to move the vehicles. Now coming towards the process 4 to 1, you can see here from process 4 to 1, the waste heat is actually expelled out from the engine chamber. As the heat leaves the gas, the molecules will lose their kinetic energy and they will decrease the pressure. You can see here that pressure will decrease here, and again the volume remain constant and the exhaust phase occur because the remaining mixture in the chamber is compressed by the piston to exhaust out without changing the volume. So students, you can see from the process 2 to 3 what happens actually during the combustion process. You can see in the figure that in the combustion phase from 2 to 3, you can see here in the combustion phase in the diagram that from the in the combustion phase 2 to 3, the volume remains constant. So as the volume is constant and heat is released, the change in the temperature at state 3, that is the T3, can be calculated as T2 plus FQ by CV, where Q is the heat release per second or per pound of a fuel, and each depends on the fuel, and F is the fuel ratio, or it is the fuel plus air ratio which is used for the combustion. And you can see here this CV, and this CV is the specific heat constant at constant volume. And from the equation of the state, we can also find out the pressure P3. From the pressure P3 can be calculated as we know that P3 divided by T3 is equal to P2 by T2. So we will multiply T3 here and we will get the pressure at the state 3. Now coming towards, so student, coming towards the process 3 to 4, as we have already discussed that this is the power stroke process in which work is done by the gas on the piston, and the expansion ratio is the reciprocal of the compression ratio. So we can write the expression as the ratio of the pressure at state 4 to the ratio at the pressure at state 3 is equal to the volume at state 3 over volume at state 4 power gamma, and this gamma is the specific heat ratio, and this specific heat ratio will be discussed later in detail. So we can multiply this pressure at state 4 into the volume at state 4 power gamma is equal to pressure at state 3 into the volume at state 3 power gamma. So students, you must know about the kinematics of the engine. First we must know what is stroke and bore. So stroke is defined as a process in which the cylinder pistons move up to the top of the engine, or it moves towards the bottom of the engine. So in order to find the stroke, it is the distance traveled by the pistons from moving from 0 degrees to 180 degrees, and the bore is actually the diameter of the piston, or it is actually the inside diameter of the cylinder. So if you know the inside diameter of the cylinder, or you know the diameter of the pistons, you can find the value of the bore. So this stroke and bore value will help us to calculate the sweep volume and the clearance volume. So coming towards the sweep volume, what is the sweep volume? Sweep volume is the volume between the top dead center and the bottom dead center. So coming towards the figure, students, you can see here that the sweep volume is actually the volume between the top dead center and the bottom dead center. So this is our top dead center and this is our bottom dead center. So volume between these 2 points is actually the sweep volume. So as the pistons move from one dead center to another, it sweeps through some volume. So this is actually called that as a swept volume, and it is also known as the displacement volume, and it tells us that how much fuel or air is sucked in and swept out of the engine. So in order to calculate or to find the volume of this sweep volume, we can use this formula as V sweep is equal to pi by 4 into the diameter square into length. So this diameter is actually our bore. We have discussed it in the previous slide that this D is diameter is actually the bore and this length is actually the stroke. So we will replace this diameter with bore and replace the length of the cylinder with the stroke. So here we will find the sweep volume, Now coming towards the clearance volume, that what is the clearance volume? So students, clearance volume is the left over volume that is above the top dead center. So again, coming towards the figure, you can see here that this is our VC is our clearance volume, because it is a volume that is left above the top dead center, and this is the volume left when piston reaches its topmost point, and it tells us how much original volume has been compressed. So clearance volume can also be defined as the difference between the total cylinder volume and the swept volume. So if you know about the total cylinder volume, and you know about the swept volume, so by taking the difference of both, we can find out the clearance volume, and it is the space covered by the clearance volume, and it also form the combustion chamber. Student, we can also find this clearance volume by using the formula, that is the V clearance is equal to V stroke divided by CR minus 1, and this CR is our compression ratio. So in order to know about the compression ratio, coming towards our next slide, what is the compression ratio? Compression ratio is defined as the value obtained by dividing the total cylinder volume by the clearance volume, and this compression ratio is generally between 12 and 18, and it will depend upon the design of the engine, that what is its value. So compression ratio is if the compression ratio is outside this range, then it will prevent the engine from starting, or it will lead to other problems. The volume of a piston cylinder can be found out by using this formula, as we know that the volume of a piston cylinder is a function of a crank angle, compression ratio, stroke, bore and connecting rod length. And if we know all these values, we can easily find out the volume of a piston cylinder by using this formula. So students, this Vs is our sweep volume, Cr is the compression ratio, and this theta is our crank angle. And what is this R? This R can be found out by dividing the connecting rod length with 2, we will get R. So by using these values, we can easily find out the volume of a piston cylinder. Now coming towards the thermal efficiency of Otto cycle. Students, as you all know that in general, efficiency is the ratio of work done to the input heat at high temperature. So by using this relationship, that is the ratio of the work done to input heat, we can find out the thermal efficiency of an Otto cycle. And according to first law of thermodynamics, you know that energy cannot be converted to work completely. So input heat is the addition of the work done plus the waste heat. So here the work done can be found out by subtracting the waste heat, that is QC, from the input heat QH. We can find out the efficiency of a Otto cycle. Now we will find out the heat added and heat rejected values. So we will find these values by using these formulas. As you know that heat is absorbed during the combustion of fuel and air mixture, and during the spark the constant volume is achieved. So this is our isochoric process. So del U will be equal to del Q, because no work is done on or by the system. So we will get these values of heat addition and heat rejection, because heat addition is occurs at state 2 to 3, because here we have a combustion occurs due to the ignition of the fuel, and heat is added in this state, and T3 temperature is greater than T2. So we will subtract this temperature and multiply it with the MCV, and we will get the output heat by subtracting the T4 minus T1, because state 4 to 1 we have waste heat is expelled out at state 4 to 1. So we will get the input heat and the waste heat by using these formula, and then we will put these values in the previous formula, that is in this formula we will put these values of QC and QH, and we will get the efficiency as 1 minus T4 minus T1 by T3 minus T2. Student, next we have to find out the value of this T4 minus T1 over T3 minus T2. So we will get this value from the equation, that as you know that the from state 1 to 2 and state 3 to 4 we have an isentropic process, that is entropy remains constant throughout the process. So we can write this equation as T4 V1 gamma minus 1 is equal to T3 V2 gamma minus 1. This is for state 3 to 4, and for state 1 to 2 again this is an isentropic process and entropy is constant, so we can write the same expression for state 1 to 2. So by rearranging these equations we get this expression. So we will get this expression, and this expression can further be simplified as T4 minus T1 over T3 minus T2 is equal to V2 minus V1 power gamma minus 1. So here students, we have find out this value. So by putting the value of this in the previous equation, that is 1 minus T4 minus T1 over T3 minus T2, we will get this expression. And we have already discussed that the compression ratio is the ratio of the volume at state 1 to the volume at state 2. So we will put the compression ratio in this formula. So we will get 1 minus 1 over compression ratio power gamma minus 1. So if we know the value of the gamma and the compression ratio, we can easily find out the thermal efficiency of the Otto cycle. So students, you can see here that we have find out different formulas for thermal efficiency. If we know any of the value, we can use any formula to find out the thermal efficiency of the Otto cycle. Okay students, now we are going to perform the task on MATLAB. In this task you can see that we have a coal fired power station which is based on Otto cycle with a compression ratio of 12, and it uses heat transfer from burning coal to do work and to turn the turbine, and which is used to generate electricity. At beginning of the compression process, air is at 1000 kilopascal and 500 degrees centigrade. So here you can see that P1 and T1 both are given. Then during the combustion the temperature is raised to 200 degrees centigrade. It means that T3 is also given here. The specific heat ratio of the cycle, that is gamma, is also given, and then the engine parameters, that is stroke, bore and connecting rod length values are also given. Now students, we have to find out the thermal efficiency and we have to plot the PV diagram on MATLAB. So coming towards the MATLAB, first students, I have already written the code. You can see here that I have written down the given data, the data which is given. I have plotted the specific heat ratio value. I have also written the combustion temperature, compression pressure and temperature, that is T3, P1, T1. These all values were given, so I have written it in the MATLAB. After that I have written down the engine parameter, that is bore value, stroke value, the value of the control rod length and the compression ratio. So I have written down all the given data here. Student, in order to find the thermal efficiency, as in the slides we have already seen that we have a simplest formula to find the thermal efficiency, that was 1 minus 1 over compression ratio power gamma minus 1. As compression ratio and gamma both are given, so in MATLAB we can easily find the efficiency by using this simplest formula. So you can see here that I have used this formula, that is efficiency is equal to 1 minus 1 over compression ratio gamma minus 1 into 100, by using these values as compression ratio and gamma both are given in the data. So we have calculated the thermal efficiency here. So students, now coming towards the PV diagram. In order to plot the PV diagram on MATLAB, students, we have to find out a lot of values, because we have to plot whole PV diagram from state 0 to state 4. So in order to plot the PV diagram, we have to find all the values at each state. So student, first we will find out the sweep volume and clearance volume. So here you can see that sweep volume we have already seen in the slides, that sweep volume is equal to pi by 4 into bore square into stroke, and the clearance volume is equal to V sweep divided by the compression ratio minus 1. So by using these formulas we have find out the value of the V sweep and V clearance. So students, after finding the swept volume and clearance volume, we will find the volume at state V1 and state V2. As at state 1 the pistons is drawn up, so it compress the fuel air mixture So V1 is the combination of the sweep volume and the clearance volume, and for state at state 2, that is, in order to find the volume at state 2, as in this state the combustion occurs, so the thermal energy is used to do work on the pistons, and in this case the piston is pushes up in order to increase the volume. So when the piston is pushed up, the volume V2 is only equal to the clearance volume. So we have also find out the volume V1 and V2 by using these expressions. In order to find the state variables at point P2, that is, we have to find the pressure and temperature at state 2. So in order to find the pressure and temperature at state 2, we know that during the compression stroke from state 1 to 2, as no heat enters the gas during the compression, so relationship between change in volume and change in pressure and temperature can be written from the entropy equation. So I have written here that entropy equation, that is P2 V2 power gamma is equal to P1 V1 power gamma. This was previously discussed in the slides. So here we can find the value of the P2 is equal to P1 V1 by V2 power gamma, and as the ratio of V1 over V2 is the compression ratio which is already given, so we will find out here the value of the P2. So I have written this in MATLAB like this: P2 is equal to P1 compression ratio power gamma. So power pressure at P2 is calculated. Now in order to find the temperature, again we will use the relationship of entropy, that is P1 V1 over T1 is equal to P2 V2 divided by T2. So by rearranging the equation, we will get the expression for T2. So by using this expression, we will find the temperature at state 2. So you can see here, by using the relationship of entropy, we have calculated the pressure and temperature at state 2. Now in order to find the compression pressure and volume, in order to find the compression pressure and volume, I have first find out the constant C, that is P, the product of the pressure and volume and gamma, P1 V1 power gamma is equal to some constant, so I have defined it here. Now in order to find the compression volume and compression pressure, first we have to find out the engine kinematics. So coming towards here, the MATLAB code is written. First I have defined the function for the engine kinematics. I have defined the function of volume, and this volume is a function of clearance volume, stroke, connecting rod length, and then the compression ratio, start crank and end crank. So all of these values, this volume function is the function of all these values, as we have already discussed it in the slides, and we have already find out the relationship of volume in the slides. Here you can see that we have find out the relationship for the volume. This is a function of all these values. So I have defined it as a function of clearance volume, stroke, connecting rod length, compression ratio, start and end crank. By putting all these values, we know that start crank value is 0 and end crank value is 180 degrees. So I have written all these values which are known, and V swept volume and V clearance volume was already given in the previous slides. So by using these values, now we will find out the crank radius. So crank radius is actually equal to stroke divided by 2. We will get the crank radius, and then we will find this R by dividing the control rod length by this crank radius A. So we will divide it with A and we will get R. Now in order to define the function of volume, so the volume equation is already described here. So we will define each function here in the MATLAB. I have defined find out the theta as the linspace. By using the linspace command, we have written as theta is equal to linspace start crank and end crank. We will get theta here, and after that we have I have defined each the formula in the form of three terms, and then I have written this formula. I have defined it in the form of term 1, term 2 and term 3 in the MATLAB, and by rewriting these term 1, term 2, term 3, I have find out the volume V. So the volume V is find out here in the MATLAB. Now again coming towards our code, this kinetic engine kinematics is already find out. Now what we have to find, we have to find the compression volume and the compression pressure. So during the compression phase, you already know that this phase occurs from the 180 to 0 degree. V compression and P compression can be used by using the engine kinematics, V clearance, stroke, control rod length, compression ratio and 180 to 0 degree. We will get the V compression, and P compression can be find out by putting this value, that is the constant C, that is the product of the pressure at state 1, volume 1 and power of gamma divided with V compression into the power of gamma. We will find out the compression pressure. Now we are going to find out the state variable at point 3. At point 3 we know that already the temperature T3 was given in the data, but volume and pressure was not given. So as you already we have already discussed that from state 2 to 3, you can see from the graph. We will see it from the graph. You can see here from the graph that from state 2 to 3 the volume remain constant. It means that we have already calculated V2, so V3 is also equal to V2. So I have written down this V3 is equal to V2, and the P3 can be find out by relation P3 is equal to P3 by T3 is equal to P2 by T2. So by using this relationship we will find the pressure at state 3. Now in order to find out the state variable at P4, first we will find the volume. So again coming towards our PV diagram, you can see here that the volume at state 4 is equal to volume at state 1. So volume at state 1 was already calculated in MATLAB, so we will write V4 is equal to V1, and we will again use the same relationship for the entropy, that P3 V3 power gamma is equal to P4 V4 gamma, that was already discussed here in case of state 1 to 2. So we will use the same relationship for state 3 to 4, because you know that in state 3 to 4 entropy remain constant. So by using the same relationships we will find the pressure P4 and T4, as we have already find P2 and T2 by using this relationship. So we will find P4 and T4. Again in order to find the expansion volume and pressure, again we will find this constant C that was previously find out as the product of pressure at state 1 and state product of the pressure and volume at state 1. So as you know that expansion occur at state 3, so we will find out next constant as the product of the P3 and V3 into gamma. So in order to find out the V expansion and P expansion, we will again use the same engine kinematics, but only difference here is we will see that expansion occur from 0 to 180 degree when pistons move from 0 to 180 degree. So in case of the compression, we have written the piston value from 180 to 0 degree, because pistons is moving from 180 to 0 degree for compression phase, and for expansion phase it will move from 0 to 180 degree. And the difference for the P expansion was that here we have written the constant C, that was the product of P1 V1 gamma, and here it is the product of P3 V3 power gamma, so which is already find out here. So we will divide it with the V expansion power gamma, and here we will get the volume and pressure during the expansion phase. So thermal efficiency was already discussed here. So in order to plot the PV diagram, we will first see the PV diagram here, that first we have a compression phase. So in order to plot it in the MATLAB, we will write plot V compression comma P compression. Then from we have a state 2 to 3. So in state 2 to 3 we have a volume and pressure. So we will plot volume 2 and volume 3, and pressure 2 and pressure 3. And then from state 3 to 4 we have an expansion phase. So state 3 to 4 is plotted here as plot V expansion comma P expansion. And then from state 4 to 1, which is already discussed here, that heat is rejected out from state 4 to 1. So we will write it as a function of volume, that is V4 P4 and V1 P1. So we have plotted all these curves here. Then we have labeled it through x-axis as volume and y-axis as pressure. And then I have given a legend. By using the legend command, I have written the plot each. I have assigned value for each plot. That the first one is isentropic compression, then we have a constant volume heat addition, then from state 3 to 4 we have expansion phase, and then from state 4 to 1 we have constant volume heat rejection phase. So I have written each I have assigned each state some name by using this legend command. Now students, okay students, now we are going to run this code in MATLAB. You can see here that efficiency is 62.9893, and here you can see we have a PV diagram of our Otto cycle, and here legends are also shown which represent each phase. That this blue line show the isentropic compression, then we have a constant volume heat addition, after that we have an isentropic expansion, and then you can see here that this small line show the constant volume heat rejection. So this is our PV diagram of Otto cycle.